Guys, I say this from a place of love. I really mean that. I don't say these things, for hype or anything like that. I look at what's going on and I report accordingly. And over the last few days, I've spent time watching a documentary called Europa: The Last Battle. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's 12 hours long, right? It's hard to find. You can find it on Odyssey. But it tells us of our true history, what really happened in the wars, and not the BS version that we're taught in schools, because the winners always write history, right? This is a documentary that is horrifying on many levels, and it will test your ability to take on new information. And what I noticed with watching that documentary is this system, or the people behind this system, they love famine and starvation to wipe out large portions of people. It was done in Russia with the Bolsheviks. 50 million people died through famine and starvation over a number of years. And this theme went on throughout the world wars. And of course, there were ration books and all of this stuff. And of course, we know that they want to ration our food intake, and they're going to use the guise of social, carbon footprints and all of this stuff. And then you look at what's going on in the world right now. They're culling birds under the guise of safety because of so-called bird flu, and other animals, and beehive keepers have been told to burn their bees, and of course without bees there is no life. You got helicopters dropping all kinds of chemicals in lakes and rivers, polluting the water system, so potentially you can't fish. So when you add the two together, and this is why I'm putting this video up, because I'm looking at history, and we need to learn from history. If we don't learn from history, true history, then we're foolish. And then I'm looking at what they're doing, and this is without all the stuff that we're being sprayed with every day. Who knows what that's doing to insects and birds and life in and of itself. And I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, I can see that this is what they want to do. Don't forget, they want to get the population down from 7 billion to 500 million by 2030, right? This is no joke. And you got the hopiums and the copium people that say, well, think positive, and they wouldn't do that. Do you realize the level of evil that we're dealing with? We are dealing with a level of evil that will make you wench. This is why it's so hard for people to get their heads around this stuff, I'm sure, because they don't realize how evil these people are, or the entities that are working through these people. These are demonic entities in human form when you really go into what's going on. So you wouldn't do this thing, you wouldn't dream of doing these things, but they would, right? They think nothing of it. They don't have empathy. They feed on our fear and suffering. They feed on chaos. They need that. It's their energy. It's like their food. So the more of it they can generate, the better for them. And so people have to get their heads around in terms of just the lengths that these people will go to. They do not give a shit. They do not care who suffers, how they suffer. And honestly, watch that documentary. I swear, it will give you a clue just to how the evil lengths these people will go to. So do what you want with this information. I'm not telling people to panic and panic buy and all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, this is the trajectory that I'm seeing right now. And they're trying to cull us in multiple different ways. I mean, we had the poke in the arms and all that kind of stuff, and there's other ways that they're doing it. They've been trying to poison us for years, poisoning the food, the air, and all that stuff. But starvation and famine is a very quick way where they don't have to spend, money on arms and all this stuff. I hope I'm wrong. Literally, I'm not joking. I hope that I can watch this video back in 5 years and think, thank. I don't like God. That's using that word because that's been co-opted and corrupted. But I'm thankful, let's say, that this all never came to light. I'm thankful that I was wrong. And the other thing is, when you look through history, it's the order followers that just carry out this, like, you know, these articles about beekeepers. Well, why don't the beekeepers say, no, we're not burning the bees? Why don't the people that own the chicken farm say, no, we're not culling the chicken? Like, why do we just do what we're told? It's like we do it to ourselves, honestly. So if you're involved in these food industries and they're telling you to do something that doesn't make sense, just like, don't do it. If you lose your job, then just find another job. Just don't be a part of the culling of your own species. Like, this is half the problem. We just do what they tell us to do. Soldiers shooting people because corrupt pedos told them to do it. So anyway, I wanted to put that out there. And like I say, you know, I say this with the fullness of my heart, and I say this with the full hope in that this never comes to light. But it needs to be said.